We got Andrew Tate calling out True Geordie for being misogynistic. I wish I could make this up. I'm not. I'm not. He unironically called him out for disrespecting women. So we're gonna get into this here. This is the video Andrew Tate put out. I didn't even read this caption. I don't really want to read it.
There's not many people in the world I have a personal beef with. I've had some internet beefs back and forth. There's very few people I personally...
Look at how he's sitting. He's sitting crisscross applesauce outside on this cat. Like, what life does Andrew Tate lead, dude? What is this? I could never imagine myself being in this situation, calling out an online influencer while sitting crisscross applesauce on a couch, bro. Just a weird observation I made.
Dislike. One of them is True Geordie. Anyone who's followed me long enough understands why. He's a very insulting, fat, vulgar. He's a dickhead. He's an unlikable person.
Dude, the worst crime of all. Fat, all right? So fucking...
He's not very smart. He's stupid. He has his little girlfriend who sits next to him. And they did a video about me long ago where they were insulting a bunch of women who worked for me, calling them horrible names. He made full-grown women cry. I replied and said that's a horrible thing to do and he should apologize. He refused to apologize because he was full of hate.
Yeah, dude, see, it's so weird. It's just odd. It's icky for Andrew... Oh, sorry, dude. Andrew Tate to be calling this out, right? Because I don't know, dude. It's hard to pin down Andrew Tate's beliefs, right? Holy shit, I'm dying. Yeah. It's really hard to pin down Andrew Tate's belief. Like, I guess he's like a red pill guy, so like he thinks you should respect women, but also they shouldn't have any autonomy to themselves, and they should like they should be subservient. Those two views seem like very contradictory to right? Because like saying all women should be subservient is like in a way disrespecting. I don't know, dude. I'm not cut out for all this feminist shit, all right? I'm a misogynistic little boy. I was playing Weezer before this. I was listening to some Weezer before the stream, all right? There's no shot I know anything about about rights, okay? Women's rights. Andrew Tate looks like he's got to teach yoga. He does, bro. That's what I was saying earlier. He looks just goofy. I don't know.
Turns out the man was full of hate.
Andrew Tate is just a goofy looking man, though. Like, whenever I see Andrew Tate, I can't help but laugh, right? Because he says all the bad things, and then he just looks as goofy as possible doing it. Yeah, I think he's mostly a troll, but he's one to speak about respect. Yeah, dude, it's so hard for me to tell if Andrew Tate's a troll, right? Because like he has like a whole course where he like teaches men to be like red pilled or whatever, and like I don't know. Like, I'd be more inclined to say he's a grifter than a troll just because, I don't know, bro. If he's trolling that hard, the respect. Andrew is the pot calling the kettle. Yeah, literally.
Because he ended up begging for dildos off of a woman.
He just like me, for real. No.
Screenshots were leaked of him begging for dildos, begging to suck on them, begging to be cheated on. He likes to be dominated by females. He sits there.
This is the peak Andrew Tate right here, sitting outside. That his head is reflecting on the light in the palm trees. Crisscross applesauce, talking about how this person he has an online beef with like wants to suck on dildos, dude. Like, this is peak content right here, for real.
Fat. That's why he eats so much, to try and become much bigger than he is. He sits there fat, trying to convince the world it's muscle, and that he's a tough guy. But truthfully, he begs to be dominated by females. So this person is genuinely a piece of shit. And now...
True. If you want to be dominated by females, you're a piece of shit. True. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any funny cuck in it. Oh no, Sneeko. Andrew Tate's coming for you, Sneeko. Okay, you better hide.
After me converting to Islam, he made a piece on one of his podcasts saying that I'm not true in my conversion, and then insulted all Muslims. Then that Muslims blow themselves up, and that I should go blow myself up. We should all blow ourselves up, making fucking racist comments about an entire religion, as if that's somehow funny. Let me tell you something, my friend, and if True Geordie, if you're watching this is a message directly to you. There are certain times in life you need to know when to shut the fuck up.
It's just weird, dude. I don't know. It's so weird to see it like hit Andrew Tate of all people getting like super fucking like angry at jokes, right? Because I mean, from the sounds of it, the jokes weren't the most appropriate. But obviously I'm up for all jokes, right? I don't really give a fuck. I'm not gonna pearl clutch over anything, right? But it's like coming from Andrew Tate, it doesn't seem real, you know?
There are certain things which are not funny. Certain things are not beyond reprisal. You don't sit and insult a man's religion. Just like you don't insult a man's entire company and the people who work for him. That's one thing. But to insult my religion and...
I didn't even know he was Islam. Like, is that... I don't know, bro. I'm not even going to comment. Before I get called out by Andrew Tate, I better not comment.
Religion of billions of people across the fucking planet making ignorant jokes about fucking blowing ourselves up, thinking that's going to go without consequence. You're going to learn very quickly, my friend.
See, no. That's the same argument that like Ethan Klein made. It was like for other people being deplatformed, it's like, oh, we're not canceling them. They just need to be held accountable for their actions, right? It's like, it's just weird. I don't know. Like, it's weird coming from Andrew.
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake. Is this like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Is this like a smoke thing? I don't know. Shortly after that, Gymshark actually dropped True Geordie. So, damn, rip. Oh, I figured I'd throw that in here real quick just to point out that he's no longer sponsored by Gymshark. So here we have his apology. I'm going to speed it up a bit just because we don't want to be watching this shit like forever, but yeah.
Welcome back to the True Geordie podcast. So let's get straight into it. I've recently made a joke online and it's caused a reaction, upset. People are not happy with it. So,
by the way, the like to dislike ratio on this is atrocious. Like I saw somebody tweet it out earlier and it was like 19K likes and like 44K dislikes. So this is already not received well. I haven't seen it yet, obviously, but you know we're gonna rate the apology on the YouTuber tier list. You know,
me and Lars want to come on here, talk about it amongst ourselves. We were on the stream at the time that the joke was said by me.
Was he crying? What?
Okay. Lawrence's joke was my joke, just to be absolutely clear. Just to sort of give context for it.
He's not even fat. What was Andrew Tate talking about? He's like, I guess he's kind of fat. Like, okay. There's like two types of fat people, okay? There's like fat people where like if they started charging at you, you could probably speed walk your way out of the situation. And then there's like buff. I don't even really call him buff fat, but like there's buff fat where like if they start running at you, like you're dead. Like if they catch up to you and fucking grab you or your ass, like it's just over for you, right? Your only hope is to like circle around a table until they get tired. Like that's...
An old friend of mine, we'll call him Mr. Potato Head for the sake of this podcast, because I know he'd be desperate for me to say his name.
That sounds trivial, but it's not.
It's just the way he is.
Were they really friends? Guys, I'm not updated on the Andrew Tate lore, unfortunately. So
he recently claimed to have joined Islam. Now, given some of his previous statements that absolutely contradict what a lot of Islam is about, I definitely didn't believe a lot of what I was hearing from the internet. I made a joke in questioning that newfound faith of his that conveniently comes at a time when he needs as many supporters as he can get. It was a stupid...
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, that doesn't seem like inherently like fucking awful, right? Being like, oh, you just made a joke, like really questioning, like, oh, are you really doing this, right? Just because, like, I don't know. It does seem weird for Andrew to convert to Islam, especially because he runs a fucking like he runs like a cam girl business, right? Like, I don't know. He looks like the Liver King. He does look like the Liver King. True.
Stupid joke. As much as I don't want to repeat the joke, I think it's only right so that people have context who don't understand. I said if he really wants to prove he's a Muslim, he should blow himself up. As soon...
Okay, that's a bit worse than I thought it would be. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Suicide bomber or something like that. Now, when I say that out loud, when I'm aware of it, fucking horrendous. You know, it was one of those off the cuff remarks that I made in with a.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I guess the problem with the joke there was I was targeted at all Muslim people, not just Andrew Tate, right? Like, I don't know.
Total lack of thought.
If it was just like Andrew Tate, you fucking suck. You literally whore women out, and now you're like Islamic. Come on, though. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, that would have been fine, but like that. That's a bit more extreme than I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God.
I used an unrealistic stereotype to take aim at someone who seriously dislikes me. Obviously, I don't believe that's what Muslims actually do, and I don't actually
he
want.
Talks so slow. Is this like I had to check if it was on 1.5 speed?
Mr. Potato Head to die as much as I
really
don't really like him. It was a very stupid thing to say. It was an idiotic joke. One I'm sorry for. You know, I don't believe any religious stereotype. Just to be clear, whether it be all priests are pedos or all Jewish people run the world and are rich. Like, they're all as ridiculous as each other to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it's absurd he has to even have to clarify that, right? Because if you make one joke about like a stereotype of a group of people, obviously you don't believe every fucking stereotype ever. It doesn't even indicate you believe that one stereotype, but people are just gonna interpret things how they'll interpret things once you put them out on the internet, right? So like, I don't know. It's cringe.
And that was partly why I felt comfortable in that moment saying something so ridiculous, because I never thought for 1 second that anyone would take offense to something so silly.
Right.
You know, at the time, I'm sat next to a guy who has a Muslim family who knows how much.
Come on. You knew people would take offense to that. Come on. Okay, come on, dude. I didn't know people would take offense to it because it's just so outlandish. Like, come on. Dude, I don't believe that, if I'm being honest. Like, you have 2 million subscribers. You've been on the internet for a while. There's no shot you just, like, didn't know, right? Like, you know how things work. People are going to get mad if you make a joke like that. And, like, come on.
Love I have for everyone. Like, you know, I'm not.
I mean, if it was just like if you really do regret it, that's fine. But don't like try and like say like, oh, I didn't realize it in the moment, like, or I didn't think people would be offended. Like, come on now.
Prejudiced guy or whatever you want to call me. Is that right?
Prejudice is definitely.
Yeah. But now after like feeling out the backlash and what people are saying, and I'm talking about the genuinely upset people. I know some people will just
battle of the bald heads.
There's anything to try and take you down, and I've given them a golden opportunity, but. I understand, like, some people have had that thrown in their face a lot. And for me, as much as it's ridiculous and it's something that I don't believe, I understand that for them, some people have had years of that being said to them, you know, and I really wasn't thinking about that in that moment. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, fuck off. You can be offended by a joke, right? But, like you can be personally offended and, like, ask someone to not make jokes like that. But you cross a line when, like, you start, like, publicly, like, shaming them for making the joke, right? Like, it's just 2 different ballparks, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, all I can say is sorry.
When I was sitting there, I guess when I watched it back, I was like, oh, maybe I should have said something there, even just as a friend, just to be like, oh, you can't say that. But
the problem for you is you know me so well.
Bro, if I flagged everything you said every live stream, we wouldn't get a live stream done. No, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, you know, and that's the difference is you know, but they don't know.
I know.
I get that.
I know.
Yeah, because they know each other a bit better than the audience, right? Like, come on.
Coming from, but I think, especially as a podcaster, and I think as people who, like, at least you aspire to speak for a living. If you misspeak sometimes, or you say something that you don't fully understand at that point, it's also good to acknowledge that.
You know, I've got people who I love and respect who are Muslim who may see that and think, oh, so that's how he thinks about us.
Right, like this is like the real.
Yeah, the face has slipped, and it's like,
yeah, I don't know. Like, this is cool. You have real Muslim people, you know. I don't know. Like, why are you talking about this in your apology? Like, why do you have to? You should have made it more short. I bet that's why most of the dislikes are on here. It's just because it's super long. People are gonna watch it all the way through, and like, yeah, like, it's a fine apology so far. I've obviously pointed out a few things, but like, I don't, you know, it's been fine.
God, like, I would hate for that, you know.
Do you ever consider? I'm not trying to like put you to the sword here, but do you ever consider sort of like your own biases and your own prejudices? Because especially in my own marriage, like, I think I've been forced to look at what my biases and prejudices were against Islam.
What?
And I like went into a marriage.
Is he married to an Islamic person? What?
Thinking I understood it in that sense, and I went into a long-term relationship like that, and actually I didn't, and actually I realized down the years that a lot of what I thought was either wrong or what you would call bigoted to an extent, where it was just like it was a negative view of someone that I had never questioned because it always just felt very apparent to me. And that's
I guess I don't have context for this, but I'm just gonna assume he's married to like some Muslim person. I don't know.
where the, like, you know, the whole these people blow themselves up thing sometimes come from, is because that is what's reinforced to a lot of people, and that is on like the tip of your tongue sometimes, because sometimes it seems like a funny thing to say.
No, for me that was like an unrealistic way.
It felt hyperbolic.
Well, yeah, because what I'm trying to say is, Mr. Potato Head should fuck off. Unfortunately, to say he should pray 5 times a day doesn't quite have the witty, bitey joke that I was looking for. I am not questioning religion. I was simply making a joke at the time about him and religion.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it was very obviously targeted at all people, right? Because it's like, oh, to prove you are like every other Islamic person, you have to fucking blow yourself up. Like, come on. It's very obviously how that's directed at all Islamic people, just not Andrew Tate.
The point is I make ignorant jokes about many different things on a daily basis, and I'm online at all times. But certain things are more sensitive to certain people than others.
And some of those things also, they reinforce stereotypes or Islamic tropes or Islamophobic tropes. And there might be some people out there who would have, they see you the way you look, they would assume that your background would be Islamophobic, that you'd probably be fairly xenophobic, would not be
the ironic
there
thing,
for foreigners.
I dated a Muslim girl once, and she said, I'm very surprised that you're interested in me because you look like the guys who used to bully me in high school.
Right.
And that was like a what the fuck moment for me. But look, I'm not trying to reinforce any stereotype.
I got home, my wife had been sent this clip hundreds of times at this point.
Okay.
Kind of saying...
Apologies for that to her, by the way.
Yeah.
And your family.
that was what made me emotional about it. I got to be honest. Like when we thought about doing a podcast, I thought it might be another one where I sort of cry or something, because I had a little time where I did think, God, I was questioning myself for a minute. I was like, should I have sat on a stream next to you and gone, what? Like, and you know what it's like when you're in the flow of a stream. Should I have sat next to you and gone, whoa, Brian, what are you saying? Like, I felt like in some extent, I felt like I'd let you down, but
I don't know, dude. It's like this guy, you should, like, he's kind of guiding, he is guiding True Geordie through this very well, I must say. He's like, oh, and like, he's asking some pretty leading questions, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe that's another reason why I dislike so much. It doesn't seem too authentic when this guy's asking like leading questions, like, oh, and then you probably thought this, right? And blah, blah, blah.
I'd also felt like I'd let my own family down because of the...
I mean, your babies are Muslim, bro.
But that's what I'm saying.
But for me, knowing that is like when Lawrence's son was born.
Oh, is he gonna cry? I don't know, dude. Like, it sucks when you get caught with your foot in your mouth before. Like, I've done it before. I made like an insensitive joke in front of someone, and they've given me a weird look, and like, oh, I feel really shitty about that. I should have done that. But like, it happens, man. Like, you know, and then, you know, obviously you feel bad. But like, I can actually understand this. But yeah.
It meant a lot, you know, to me. And to think that anyone would think that that's like a thing that's in me, when I have so much like love for your family. It was just such a stupid moment, you know. And
this is weirdly emotional, dude. I wasn't expecting this, bro. Gymshark, get him back on.
And that's when I thought about people like Gabe, you know, like people who I do rate and respect, who would think and see that and think, what is he?
What does he really think in that sense?
Yeah, because it's just not who I am, you know. And I realised that, you know, I'm a cocky guy and I say a lot of silly jokes, and I love myself to a degree, and I get lost in that sometimes.
And sometimes you enjoy upsetting people.
No, I absolutely do, and I'm not disputing that, you know. Like, and
Nah, me for real. Like, I don't know, dude. It's fun upsetting people until you upset someone you care about, you know? Like upsetting random people on Twitter, like, dude, the thing about Twitter is, like, you can log off at any point, right? Like, if you're getting fucked with on Twitter, just log off, delete the app, and then it all goes away, right? If you upset someone in real life, like, that doesn't go away. Like, you're probably personally hurt by that, right? Like, I think that's mostly a difference. And, like, I can understand him being emotional in this sense because he did hurt someone in his personal life, not just, like, random internet freaks. Like, if he was crying over, like, random internet freaks, I would probably be shitting on him. But, you know, yeah, he does sound like he means it.
Unfortunately, classing yourself as somewhat a semi-comedian who wants to make people laugh, I accept that every single video that goes out, I'm going to piss some people off. But often my feeling is, well, they need to grow the fuck up and realize that this is a joke. The problem is when you touch on something that is so sensitive and that you don't, in that moment, process it in that way, and you're like, this is ridiculous. No one's actually going to take me seriously. You're just not thinking it through, you know. Mm-hmm. And hey, I am truly, truly, deeply sorry to anyone who seen that, Muslim or not, and thought that this guy has hate for anyone out there, because I just don't. Honestly, you know, some people who know me, close to me, may want.
I mean, I'm willing to believe that, right? Like, dude, if you make jokes, you probably don't hate people, right? Like, at most, you're fucking ignorant to like problems a person could be personally going through, right? Like, I don't think anyone who makes like jokes about like Jewish people actually fucking hates Jewish people. Okay, like Kanye West probably actually hates Jewish people off of you know, the statements he's been making. Like, let me think. Just like fucking, I don't know. Keemstar probably doesn't actually fucking hate Jewish people because he makes like dumbass fucking like jokes, right? Like, I don't know.
One day come out and say Brian is a dickhead, but I'd be stunned if anyone said I was a prejudiced person who had anything against any skin color, any sexuality, any religion. Because honestly, I don't give a fuck what anyone is. I really don't. And I'm not going to go down the road of I've got black friends or anything like that. It's just everything about me is I embrace.
What's the point of having black friends if you can't use them to shield yourself from online criticism? Come on. That's awful.
It's difference, generally speaking, and despite me being ignorant, you know. So yeah, I don't know what else to say.
I think being able to have an honest conversation on your own podcast about it is.
I just don't want to run away from anything ever.
I get that,
and I think when I look at other people who.
This is actually pretty good. I don't know why the dislike ratio was so fucking shit. That's kind of sad, bro.
Done that, it just makes you look guilty, you know, and I'm not guilty of any of the true thoughts and feelings that some like.
Why does he? These headphones are awful. I hate those. I'm sorry.
It makes you look guilty. I'm not someone who is guilty of feeling that way. I just make stupid jokes sometimes, and I've got to be better. I'm a grown ass man now, and I will be better. But yeah,
I can appreciate that.
it's.
All right,
I'm still learning, mate. I'm still fucking learning. You know, just when I think I've got when you think you have everything figured out, or to a degree, you feel like you've got a good beat on things. And it's so funny because in that Tyson Fury interview, I literally say at the start, "You're all saying I'm a hero now, but next week you'll be all calling me a twat." And literally right on cue, here we are. But that's
the way life is.
It really
that's
is,
right
man.
before a full sort of
Mate,
thing,
it's so
like that kind of
fucking.
thing.
But even then, I knew it, and I still fucking made that mistake. Ugh.
Live streams. Just live streams, man. Just live streams.
Look, I just want to say, I'm sorry to your family.
Hey, I appreciate what you said, and it means a lot to me that you thought about those guys.
Aw, cute. He made up with his best friend's wife.
Really upsets me, like honestly. I feel such a.
How are we falling into the stereotype of two podcasters who cry when they say sorry for things?
White guys, man.
Just no, it is genuinely that. God, just check your privilege for a second. I get what you're saying, and I appreciate that, and I think a lot of people will also appreciate the same. And you know what? Maybe it might take a bit of time for some people to appreciate that as well. They'll come around to hearing it, but
Sometimes you just need to fuck up to remind yourself, come on, mate, you need to sort your shit out a bit here and think about what you're saying and who's listening and how you might upset people. I always want to make jokes, but I never want to make jokes that are going to turn that many people to feel that way about me.
damage your relationship.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I doubt he probably wants to make jokes that don't upset people in his personal life, like I said before, right? Like, I doubt True Geordie is really fucking concerned about, like, the Twitter mob. Like, I don't know, dude.
I just don't, you know what I mean?
And I think you appreciate there's been people that reached out to you and have said, hey, I had a problem with this, and I appreciate the same.
Oh yeah, we've had lots of messages, and I think those
Really
genuine
nice.
ones, those genuine people who are trying to keep us on the straight.
I mean, I don't know what else we can really gather from this. Like, we could continue to watch the rest of it, but I'd be willing to bet it's more of the same stuff. Like, if the apology seems pretty good, feel free to call me out if, like, it's an apology. It is an apology, though. Okay, dude. All right, shut up. How does an apology for casual racism turn into a pity party for Brian's personal life? It's not it's not a pity party. He's talking about, I mean, I guess maybe it is a pity party towards the end here. Maybe, I'm not going to watch it. But, like, he's talking about how he upset someone in his personal life, so that's why he's talking about his personal life. I don't know, dude. So, yeah, True Geordie, pretty based, honestly. I can actually understand where he's coming from, despite some cringe moments. And, yeah, that's all for the Geordie section.